So I work for the Ontario Information and Privacy Commissioner's Office. I've been there for about 9 years. I spent 10 years before that with an NGO called the Canadian Civil Liberties Association. And basically I spent the last 19 years working on civil liberties, privacy, transparency, and accountability in government. Our office has a dual mandate. It provides for rights, it protects rights to access to government-held information, which is a transparency and accountability issue, and the protection of privacy with respect to personal information held by government institutions in Ontario, at the provincial level, municipal level. The issues of the day that I think have drawn folks out tonight have to do with surveillance by the state, with particular emphasis on the activities of the National Security Agency, or the NSA, as revealed by Edward Snowden, a whistleblower, and a man who we all owe a debt of gratitude to. Otherwise we would not be having this conversation, even though aspects of the NSA's activities and the activities of its Five Eyes allies, Canada, the US, Australia, New Zealand, and Great Britain are allies in this enterprise of national security-oriented surveillance. Snowden's revelations have revealed a great deal and will continue to reveal more about what's been going on behind the closed doors of the national security agencies in Canada, the US, and those other countries. The key myth I'd like to bust to begin with came up in a little interview I did with Terry before we started up this evening, and that is this notion that privacy is about hiding or secrecy. That if you have nothing to hide, you've got nothing to worry about. And that's the wrong take on privacy. Privacy is really about individual dignity, the individual dignity worth of each human being. And privacy is a right that is connected to a whole series of rights that have emerged over the last couple of millennium around the inherent worth and dignity of the individual. So privacy is really about choice and control. And in the context of personal information, privacy is about each of our right to exercise some degree of control over information we share about ourselves to others. It doesn't mean we have to hide. It means we can, in this Facebook age, choose to share information about ourselves with others, but that we also have a right to exercise some control over how much information about us is collected, used, and disclosed by others. Of course, the revelations of Edward Snowden have thrown that notion on its head. It's as if we cannot hide. The laws that have played out after 9/11 in the US and elsewhere have, under guise of confidentiality and indeed secrecy, allowed governments to collect more and more information about us. And the shift as privacy and transparency advocates, we try to shift in people's minds is that privacy is for the individual, and transparency is for the state. The current debacles in the US and in Canada over state surveillance throw that on its head, and now there's a move for it to push back. And this is the unique opportunity presented by the Edward Snowden revelations. They present a great deal of opportunity for citizens to engage these issues, to return some pressure on governments, and to ask for transparency and accountability from the state when it comes to their surveillance powers, and for a framework, a clear framework of privacy rules to protect privacy. Of course, governments have legitimate reasons to collect, use, and disclose personal information. Some of those reasons relate to public safety, achieving public safety, achieving national security, a big concept we might need to take apart in the Q&A time. But certainly, there's a legitimate role for government in the collection, use, and disclosure of information. The question is there an adequate governance framework in place to ensure that the activities of the state remain proportionate and reasonable and accountable to the public? And the shift that's taking place right now is we're seeing that the government's been doing a great deal without informing the public. It's been, in fact, doing so while either handcuffing or deceiving elected officials, and we're now seeing pushback for accountability. This is the opportunity we have today. I'm going to wrap it up in a bit because I think we've got to keep the mic moving. But one thing I want to get out right front, if you want more information about what the office I work for is doing in this area, you can visit realprivacy.ca. We're having an event on January 28th. There's cards up in front. You're welcome to come and join us at that event, which will focus on these surveillance issues. We've got some good speakers there. Also, we're featuring on our website a petition put out by a coalition of civil society groups, 30 of them. So you can go to realprivacy.ca, you can see their petition. If you're concerned you want your voice registered in that way, I suggest you go for it. And last but not least, there's lots of engagement we can all pick up as individuals, not only coming out here tonight and asking questions, tough questions to speakers, but pushing back with our MPs, asking for an accountability, accounting what's going on. Where's the Canadian government on this? Where's our surveillance oversight regime? Is it adequate? Are we getting enough information? And are we asking enough from our service providers to push for transparency, privacy, and accountability as well? So I'll pass it over to my colleagues.